Hi Bemis Bulldogs. I hope that you're enjoying Shark Week. I found another book that I want to read to you that gives us information about sharks. This one is called Surprising Sharks, and even though the illustrations look like they're kind of painted, they look a little bit like chalk, this is still a nonfiction book. Surprising Sharks by Nicola Davies. Surprising Sharks. You're swimming in the warm blue sea. What's the one word that turns your dream into a nightmare? What's the one word that makes you think of a giant man-eating killer? Shark! Why don't you look right here? Wait for me! Shark? Yes, it's a shark. It's a dwarf lantern shark. It's the smallest kind of shark in the world, just bigger than a chocolate bar. Not a giant, certainly no man-eater, and a killer only if you happen to be a shrimp. You see, most sharks are not at all what you might expect. After all, who would expect a shark to have built-in fairy lights? Whoa. Like all lantern sharks, this black belly lantern shark has light-making organs on its tummy. They help it to blend in with the silvery surface of the sea and avoid ending up as dinner for bigger fish. After all, who would expect a shark to blow up like a party balloon? Swell sharks swallow water when they get scared. They blow up to 3 times their normal size so that they stick fast between rocks. Then no predator can pull them out. Please wait. Who would expect a shark to lie on the sea floor like a scrap of old carpet? This Australian shark is called a wobbegong. Its patterned skin matches the rocks and coral on the seafloor, so it can sneak up on shellfish, crabs, and small fish without being seen. Look out! Who would expect a shark to look like tools from a monster's toolkit? Here's a hammerhead shark. Hammerhead sharks have eyes and nostrils on the ends of their hammers. They help to pinpoint the scent of prey and give them all-around vision. Saw shark. Saw sharks use their swords to root out fish hidden in the sand and mud, then grab them with needle-sharp teeth. It's a little tricky reading words that are all curvy like that. In fact, sharks come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Here's a blue shark, cookie cutter shark, nurse shark, angel shark, and goblin shark. Ooh. How can such different animals all be sharks? Look carefully and you'll see all the things they share. Fins and tail for swimming. A shark's tail fins are bigger at the top than at the bottom. Unlike other fish tails, their tails push them through the water and the fins help them to swim left or right. Here's a dorsal fin, tail fin, pelvic fin, pectoral fin, gill slits. This is a diagram of a shark. Here's how the air goes in so they can breathe. Gill slits for breathing water. Inside the gill slits, there is a very thin layer of skin that lets oxygen from the water get into the shark's blood, just as our lungs let oxygen from the air into our blood when we breathe. And here's a close-up of the skin. Skin as tough and scratchy as sandpaper. A shark's skin is covered with tiny tooth-like scales that help it to be hard-wearing. Kind of like a coat of armor. So this label says it's a diagram of the outside of a shark. Here's the inside of a shark. Teeth. Rows and rows of spare teeth, so that a shark is never without its bite. A shark can have up to 3,000 teeth, all in rows, one behind the other. As one tooth wears out, the one behind moves forward to replace it. So sharks always have sharp teeth and use more than 20,000 in their lifetime. Jaws. Jaws that can pop out through the mouth like a jack-in-the-box. Sharks' jaws aren't part of the heads as ours are. Instead, they are held on by a kind of living rubber band, so the jaws can shoot forward fast to grab prey. Skeleton. Remember class of the shark. The phylum of the shark is phylum Chordata, which means they do have a backbone. They're vertebrates, even though they're mostly made of cartilage. A bendy, boneless skeleton that helps stop it sinking. Shark skeletons are made of the tough kind of stuff that makes your ears and the end of your nose cartilage. It floats in water like a rubber ball. But isn't the basic body plan that makes sharks... Reread. But it isn't the basic body plan that makes sharks sharks. It's the sharkish way they behave. Sharks are always hungry, and they're always on the lookout for their next meal. Some even start killing before they're born, like sand tiger sharks. Sand tiger sharks give birth to just 2 living young, which is all that's left after those 2 have eaten the other 6 babies in their mother's belly. Let's get them. Some sharks lay eggs, and some give birth to live young. But all baby sharks are just like their parents, with sharp teeth and the ability to hunt right from the start. That's one difference from humans. We have to wait for our teeth to grow in when we're about a year old. Dogfish lay eggs called mermaids' purses. They have strings that tangle in the weeds to keep them safe in storms. Port Jackson sharks lay eggs like a corkscrew. They stick fast in rock crevices. You would never think that was an egg, would you? Sharks' senses are fine-tuned, ready for the tiniest hint that might mean food. Sharks have tiny holes that let sound into their inner ears. They can hear sounds that are too low for our ears to pick up. Sharks' eyes are on the sides of their heads, so they can see almost as well behind them as they can in front. The whole of the shark's skin is sensitive to the same way that your fingertips are. You can tell hot from cold, rough from smooth, moving from still. A shark can also get all sorts of information from the movement and temperature of the water all around its body. To a hungry shark, the faintest trail of clues is as clear as a restaurant sign. A shark's nostrils are just under the tip of its snout. Water flows into them as the shark moves forward, bringing any sense with it. Gel-filled pits in a shark's nose can detect food. Every animal has nerves, which are like cables carrying electrical messages around the body. The shark's gel pits can sense this electricity. Here's a basking shark. Do you see any teeth in there? Basking sharks suck in more than 10,000 quarts of plankton-filled water an hour. Plankton is the name for the many kinds of tiny animals and plants that drift around the sea with the wind and the tide. And when at last they're close enough for the kill, they feel the crackle of their prey's living nerves, so they bite in just the right place, no matter what the prey, whether it's plankton or people. Oh yes, it's true. Some sharks do kill people. About 6 of us a year. The great white is just one of 3 species of sharks that attack people regularly. The other 2 are the bull shark and the tiger shark. In fact, only 30 of the 500 different kinds of sharks have ever attacked humans. Crocodiles, elephants, dogs, and even pigs kill more people every year than sharks do. But every year, people kill 100 million sharks. And it's showing us some things that we use that for. Shark tooth necklace, our engine machine grease, cattle feed, fertilizer, shark fin soup, shark skin shoes, aftershave, shark skin wallet, skin cream, fish and chips. If you were a shark swimming in the lovely blue sea, the last word you'd want to hear would be human.